Everyone, it's Tammy, and today I'm going to do my cards a little bit differently than I have been. I'm going to make all three of these cards. I already have everything cut and colored. I just need to put it all together, so I don't know how long this will be, but I thought that these were all pretty cute and a good example of some things that you could do with different stamp sets. And the one that I'm using for today's cards is called Party Parade by Hello Bluebird. I also am using the stitched scallop rectangular frames that I have, and I used some outside in stitched scallop rectangle from Lawn Fawn. So I have some Lawn Fawn, some Hello Bluebird, and just some random die cuts that I'm using. And this set does have the die cuts, but it has little critters, and you guys know how much I love my critters. So these are the stamp sets and dies that I'm using, or the stamp set and dies. I also have some pop dots. Oh, and I also used one stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Stylized Birthday. I don't think it's available anymore, but it's just a happy birthday. And I'm going to use that for the center card. So I have already, like I said, cut, colored, and everything, all of the cards, and I'm going to put these two to the side, and I'll start over here with this one, and I'll move my way that way. So this is the first card, and I used colored watercolor pencils to color the images on this card, and this is the one where I used the inside out die cut, and I just thought it was pretty cute. So let me show you what I did. I used the die cut to cut out both the inside and the outside of this frame. And this is what I'm going to put on the front. Let me move all the little dies. So this is an A2 sized card. I don't know if I need to go through that, but just in case, you get two A2 sized cards from one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You take the cardstock and you score it down the middle at 4 1/4, then you turn it and you cut it in the middle at 5 1/2, and then you fold it, and it ends up with two A2 sized cards, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. You can use them this way, you can use them this way, however you want to do it. This particular one I'm doing this way, and then I cut a square of blue cardstock to match my frame. So I did the frame first, and I figured out what size that was, and then I just cut a piece of blue cardstock just a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch bigger on each side. And I'm going to take my blue cardstock and glue it down to the card front. I just thought this gave it kind of a neat element where it kind of peeks through the blue. It just gives it a little bit more color. And I was trying to make masculine cards. I'm thinking of my team when I was making these. I need to have some birthday cards for the men that I work with. And I know that this is kind of, I don't know. Oh, what's the word? Kind of babyish maybe or something, but I don't know. I think that they'll like them. So there's that. And then I'm going to pop this one up using little pop dots. So I'm just putting a pop dot on each corner. Well, these are squares, they're not dots, and these squares are great for really thin things, or you could use the strips. Whatever you have that works is fine. You could even use a big pop dot, but then cut it down to size. So whatever you have, you can make it work. Oops. You just really want to be careful not to have it overlapping. You don't really want these to be seen. Or sticky on the other side. Oh, I need one more over there in the corner. And maybe I could have put another one over here or divided this into two, but whatever works. I'm not even going to fret. It will be just fine, I'm sure. I'm just taking all the paper off the back of these. These were really fun, and I'm doing it a little differently this time just because I feel like there would be a lot of, whoops, card videos right now if I didn't, so I don't know. You can tell me if you are okay with it being this way sometimes, or if you'd prefer having each card its own individual, but I think that this way sounds good sometimes. And I'm just going to put this so that it has a nice thin border between this and the blue, so there's just a little bit of border. Now I see I have a little issue here with one of them sticking out, so I'm just going to kind of try to put it back in there. I might even use one of my little tools and just kind of push the sticky part so that it's stuck under the thing and you can't see it. There, that's pretty cute. Okay, and something else that I did with this one that I haven't done yet with this, I forgot that I did that, is I did cut this. So I took it, and I think it, like, I don't know, how many was it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I just cut it so it was about a third of the way, and then I did it the same way the other way. 1, 2, 3. So then I have that bottom piece divided into 3 parts, and I'm going to get my watercolor pencils out again, and I'm going to use the middle part and the blue, and I'm just going to lightly color this with my watercolor pencil. And then I will take my aqua brush and just color this whole thing in, so it gives it a nice little watercolory look in the middle, which is kind of where I put, I keep saying kind of, it's where I put the little critters, so it looks like they're on something, they're not just floating in the air. So I use this to maybe ground them. Yeah, I think that's a good word. I use this to ground them. And because it's wet, I need to dry it with my heat gun. And the water is making it curl up. It's no big deal. I got some yellow on it from something that was on here. Oops. Now it's trying to curl up the other way. It's really not a big deal though, because I'm going to glue it down, so it'll be fine. So now I will take my card again, and I'm just going to kind of place this in here, so I don't know why, just so I can see where I want it. Not that there's a secret, because it fits in there with the cut. So kind of like a puzzle. I just want to put this in there, and I want to make sure that I can see the blue around it a little bit, even if it's just looking in, but I can see the blue, and it just looks kind of neat. And then I'm going to do the top for, before I put the middle on, I think. Because then I can center the middle. Because when you're doing it this way, you might have some extra space between here and here, or you might have a little less, you know, it depends on how you've done it. So I want to save that middle part for last. And I was careful to cut each side between the scallops, so it shouldn't matter if I put this up or down or however, it doesn't really matter. And I'm just centering it between these two pieces. So this one I got almost to fit right in there, so that's all right. I guess I can see that I didn't get it totally straight. One of them isn't, but that's all right. I'm fine with it. And then I need to put my little guys down. And I glued the first critter in the middle. And I also glued the bird to the top. And then for the other ones, I pop dotted those. And I also noticed that my alligator's eye isn't fully darkened, so I'm just going to use my handy dandy pen. I'm going to fill in the little bunny's nose too. I didn't do that on this one, but I think I will. Alright, so now these two are going to get pop dots. And I'm going to put this guy over on this side, and he has the sign, so I have to be careful of that. But it is really cute. And then I don't care if he peeks off a little bit off the side. I think that's kind of cute. Because he's not off the side of the card, he's just off the side of the frame. And I'm going to do the same thing with the little bunny. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? And I didn't do this last time either. Oh, I think I can make it work. On the other card, if you see here, the way I positioned it, the balloons had to go underneath the banner, and I screwed that up because I didn't have enough room, and I had to lift up the banner and then put the little bunny down, and it all worked out. And I need to be careful and not put this. I don't want it to be on this ear, because lots of times this ear, the only time I've done it before, this ear was on this, and this is already raised, and I didn't want her ear to be sticking way up, so I'm just going to put the pop dot on the other ear. It doesn't really matter. And let's see, I might be able to play with this one enough to get it. Yeah, I think. So there we go. And then not having it on this means that this ear is straight against the one that's already pop dotted, so she's all one level. Hopefully that makes sense. But there is the first card. I think that turned out really cute. I like it, I like it, I like it. So there's card number 1. Card number 2 may be the easiest. I just thought it was neat to have kind of a plain look. I don't know, simple. I thought that maybe a guy would like that. So same thing with the A2 sized card. First thing I'm going to do though is stamp my happy birthday. And I used a blue ink. You could use whatever you want. I think I'm going to use a different color blue this time though. I think I might use this one. I think I need to re-ink my other one, and I think this one might match a little bit better. And I'm just going to put this right down here at the bottom. There we go. And I need to clean off my stamp. So that's the only thing I needed that one for. Although I could put this inside the other cards if I wanted to or whatever. It's a cute happy birthday. I like how it's written. And then I pop dotted again. So I have 3 little critters, the bird, the fox, and the alligator. Goodness gracious, I can't turn it over. And I'm just going to put pop dots on all of these. All right, and then when I have these all pop dotted, I can just take this off, and I'm going to start with my alligator because he has that sign, the banner. There we go. And then I'm going to do my fox next, and then I'm going to put the bird on top of the banner. So I'm going to put him kind of marching behind him, behind the alligator. Then I'll take off the paper from the bird and put him up here on the sign. Oh my goodness, I think that's really cute. And for this one, I colored with just some regular markers. I used, oh no, that's not what I used. I used these markers. They are Curarina oil-based markers. They're just in my stash, and I thought that I'd color with them, and they actually do color very nicely. They give very vibrant and pretty colors. So here are those 2 cards. See, I think I need to re-ink that one. But still very pretty. I like them, I like them. So that's card number 2. And then the final card is probably the most complicated, only because I used so many different elements. But I used a piece of cardstock that I had in my stash. I used that one die that I showed you that had the scallops. It was just a, I don't know the brand of it. And then I used a little bit of ribbon to make a banner. And these were die cuts that are all in the party parade. Sorry. I used the banner ones there, and then I used the die cuts to cut out all of the animals. And then I cut out this frame. I used the biggest one. I cut that out twice. Once with my scalloped, or once with my, chevron paper, and once with the blue paper. And then with the chevron paper, I just cut a little bit from each side of it. So I cut one from here and one from here so that it will fit onto the blue perfectly like it was supposed to be there. And then I colored all of these guys with my Crayola markers. I used the little, I don't even know what they're called, but the thin point ones. So I'm just going to fold my A2 card and burnish it. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this on top. Oh, let's take the lid off. My glue didn't want to come out. There we go. I like that sound. So I'm just going to put that in the middle of the card. And then I'm going to take this guy and line him up with the bottom of the blue. Oh, and this little thing is supposed to be punched out there. And I'm just going to put him right down there, like that. That was easy enough. And then for the banner, I'm going to put that on first. So I'm just going to take some glue and put it where I want the banner to go. And then I'll take my, I have too large of a string here, but I will take this and set it in the glue. And then I just cut off each end. And I took my little pointer tool and frayed the ends. I sometimes like to tie a little knot on here, but just fraying the ends makes it so that it, well, it makes it easier for one, and for two, it makes it so it doesn't raise it up anymore. The knots will put, obviously, a knot in it, and this baker's twine is a little thick, so I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and put the banner on first, and to do the banner, I just took, the first one I only needed 4, so I don't know how many I'll need on this one, but I'll start with 4. And I did a triangle, and then the other shape, and then the triangle, the other shape, whatever that is. And so to do this, I take off the little back of the paper, or of the pop dot, and then I just put a little glue on the very top of it. And then I put this where I want it on the banner, putting the glue so that it touches the string, but the pop dot is making it so that it's raised up. It will make sense if you're trying to do it. I'm not very good at explaining it, but because if I didn't put a pop dot down and I just put the banner pieces down, it would, the top of the banner would stick up where the string is, so I needed a pop dot to make it so that it's the same level. And you should be careful not to put it too close to where you're going to glue it, otherwise you might have to move it. But I think I'll be okay, even though I didn't pay much attention when I was doing it. I think I can make it work. And I guess 4 is all I need for this one too. I think that just is really cute. One thing that I didn't do that maybe would make it look a little bit better would be if I use the stamp to stamp these before I die cut them. But I don't know, I thought that I'd like it without, but it might be cute with it too, or maybe if I took my pen and put a border around them, but I don't know, I think it's fine. And then I wanted a couple of the animals in the background, and then a couple of them in the foreground, so I took whichever ones. I don't even know that I paid much attention when I did it the first time, so I'm just doing the same thing I did last time. I put the elephant and the bunny in the back. I remember I picked the bunny because I was thinking I wanted this to be a masculine card, and the bunny's a girl, so I thought, well, if I put her in the back, she won't be, because I tend to go for the girly colors, and I would put glitter on her and stuff, and so I was trying to be conscious of that. And now for the ones in the front, I'm going to put pop dots on them. And I'm going to put a pop dot on the duck. He's a new one. We hadn't used him before. And on the bird. Now I still have my alligator, and I'll show you what I did with him in just a second. I had started because I wanted to use the elephant and the duck because I hadn't used those yet. So I thought, okay, I want to use those guys for sure. So when I was putting the elephant on here, it was a little bit hard to figure out how to put him on here too, because he is so big with his banner. And I just didn't think he looked... I put the banner on first, and then when I was trying to do this, I didn't really have a good spot for him unless I put him like over here, and then nothing else would fit. So I thought, well, let's do it this way, and I think it turned out all right. I put the duck in the front, and he has a little sign too. It says, yay! And let's see. There, I think that's good. And then the bird, I thought that it would be cute if the bird was on the banner. Then I thought I want to still use the alligator since I cut it out and colored it and all that jazz. So I'm just putting him in the front, or in the inside. And I just put him right here, so when he's opened up, everyone is greeted by the sweet little alligator. I didn't color his little, the ball part of his banner holder. There we go. So, I mean, really, it's pretty easy to put together, but it looks more complicated. I don't know. It's really cute though. I think it turned out really cute. So that's the third card. So yay! I hope that you guys enjoyed it this way. I don't know how often I'm going to do it this way. I just had a lot of ideas with these cards, and I was inspired a lot, and I thought, you know what, I just want to go ahead and do them on one video. So hopefully that was all right, and we'll see. Maybe I'll do it some more. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day and create something beautiful. Bye-bye.